I recently got this question. I'm stuck at a $500,000 in revenue. What systems and strategies do I need to put in place to make the jump to seven figures? So she said, I would love to know what you did to scale from multiple six to seven. Okay, so I want to break this down and really show you what it takes to go to seven, to go to eight. We are on our journey to eight right now. Last year we crossed, we almost hit 6 million in annual revenue. I'm shooting for 10 next year. So here is what I would look at. Okay. Well oiled, what I teach well oiled, understand like I teach it because that is what I've done to get there. Okay. So, number one, the first piece is the plan. So, if I'm trying to hit seven figures, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the math. Is it even possible? Do I have a scalable business model? Can I keep doing what I'm doing and just do more of it? Or do I have to completely blow this thing up and do something completely different? So let's say I was teaching dance by myself and I was able to do 20 classes a week with about 20 kids in them each, right? Paying me 70 bucks a month. That's $336,000. Okay. Well, there's no way I could just do more of that and get there. 20 hours a week is already like, I would be burnt out. Going to 40 hours a week, because guys, there's more to do than just being in the classroom, right? Even 40 hours, like that's only 700,000. Like I still wouldn't hit a million. So I have to realize like that model wouldn't work. So is it scalable? Do I need to switch it up? Do I need more than just me? I'll tell you this, so many business owners aren't doing the math. They have no idea. They say things like, well, I'm at 500,000. I really want to hit 650 next year. Okay. What is it going to take? How many units do you have to sell? Right. And then they'll reply with like, oh, I don't know. It's like they just picked a number out of thin air, right? And said, that's what I want to hit. You have to do the math behind it. So for me to hit my goal next year, I have to know how many units do I need sold. And then I even reverse engineered, well, how many consults do I need per week to sell that many units? Okay. So I start to do the math to figure out, is this truly like for me, is this really it? Do I have a $10 million business model? Like I need to know that. Same thing with you. Do I have a seven-figure business model? So for me, I figured out I was going to need about 100 consults per week the whole year of 2024. And I'm a month in and I'm not hitting 100 consults a week. I did it one week, but that was it. Okay. So I realized, okay, I do still believe that math makes sense, but I'm not getting to that math. So now I said, okay, I've got to catch up here. So now I've even went and so far as to say I need to hit 125 consults a week because I'm going to need to go bigger, knowing it's not going to make sense if I'm a couple months behind, right? So it's all math. Like it's literally just, is this possible? Is this doable? Math is so incredibly important. And I get really sad when I hear business owners say, I'm not really a numbers person, Stacy. I'm not really good at the math stuff, right? I've got a CPA. Like that's what they're for. No, no, no. Your CPA is there to give you the feedback, to give you the numbers, to assess, but you need to understand it. You need to know what's happening. So it's not an option to be good at math. Like you've got to figure it out. Now, the other thing I want you thinking about when it comes to the plan is, are you or have you identified specific bottlenecks and challenges that will prevent you from hitting that number? Okay. So, where are you at? And at what point will it stop you? Right. At what point will you say, I'll never be able to take on more than that? Right. So, that's something to start to think about ahead of time. So, this is part of the planning piece. All right. The other piece in the plan is don't diversify too soon. I see this so many times. I want to make more money, so I need lots of things to sell. But then you have to learn how to sell all of those and market all of those. And then your customer doesn't know what to buy from you or what you're known for. It gets confusing. So be careful. Diversifying too soon, thinking you need more to make more, it's not true. I promise you that. Okay, next, people. Okay, so I've got the plan down to hit seven figures, to hit eight figures, whatever you're shooting for. Okay, but who do I need to help me with the plan? Who is missing? Who would bring more value to the company this year? Who are the key players? So we figured out this year, I will probably need about 8 full-time people in sales. 8. Oh my goodness. Sounds so crazy. We have 6, so we're not that far off. And we just made a job offer, so we'll be at 7 very soon. But we need 8 full-time. We also need about 10 full-time coaches, right? So we started to see, well, how many do we have? How many are we going to need to hire, right? We also realized like, man, we're already pretty maxed out when it comes to the curriculum, things breaking, finding resources in the program, supporting in rapid response support. And we immediately said, okay, we need somebody just on the admin side in the program that doesn't have a specific clientele. So, like, all of our coaches have dedicated clients, like, that are on their, I can't think of what the word I'm looking for, roster, right? But we want somebody who doesn't have a roster of clients. They're just there to support. Okay. So, okay, we need that person. We also know we want to really build out our leadership team. So if I'm just like, I'm not trying to get, like, the first part was get involved in the math. This part, I'm not doing math right now. I'm just like, what would I need? What would be nice? Okay, I really want a director of marketing. So we just recently hired a director of marketing, right? I would really love a director of sales. Okay, we're looking at hiring a director of sales, right? So I'm looking at these big things, right? I'm starting to think, who would be nice? Who do we need? Now, from there, the math does matter, right? We bring on one at a time. We look at our finances. We feel like, can we continue to hire? Like, what is our percentage of labor to revenue? Like, where am I at? We're actually debating right now, do we hire this position or do we hire that position? Like, we only want to bring on one. And I was like, put out both job descriptions. Let's see who we get first. And honestly, person A probably would recoup, like, they become a revenue generator faster than person B. We would have hired person B. However, it's taking longer to find them. And I think it'll be longer for them to recoup their revenue. Okay. Person A, I think we can find faster, and I think they'll recoup their revenue faster. So I said, put out both. Because if we hire A, you might get them revenue generating before we even get the perfect candidate for B. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's about planning. It's about figuring out who we're going to need. Okay. From there, the next question is process, right? So what you have to understand is your current systems are not going to be good enough when you grow your revenue. You will break your systems. So you want to start to ask yourself, what is going to break? Where is my cap? Where is my capacity? Right. And the good news is some of these you can proactively work on and you can get on top of it. The bad news is you're going to find out you're at capacity or you can't handle more when you've already done the thing and you're like, oh no, we feel it. We're dropping balls. Like, this isn't good. And you'll have to be reactive. Right. So don't change too many things at once. And this is where, like, sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. So last year, 2023, we were aggressively growing. Guys, it was like scary. It was my dream turned into my worst nightmare. Like, I couldn't keep up. I was going as fast as I could and I couldn't keep up with the growth. And then at 1 month, we just said, stop the growth. We can't take on anymore. Let's really dive in and be proactive in a few areas. And once that is cleaned up and feels great and the capacity has opened, we go back and put, like, the gas. We put more gasoline on the fire. Okay. I think so many of us are afraid to purposely slow down. We are afraid that if we do that, we'll lose the momentum, right? And I will tell you, if you just keep going, 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 it's just not sustainable, right? So there's not going to be this perfect, trajectory of you just going up, 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 up. No, it's like up, and then sometimes it's a little dip, and then it's up, and then it's a plateau, and then it's up, right? That is what my journey has been this entire time. And I don't think I could handle just the up, 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 up. Like, sometimes I need a little slowdown. Sometimes I need a little reset. Don't be afraid of those. So, in this phase, you want to start to really implement scalable systems. So you can say to yourself, okay, what would it look like to bring on X more clients? What would it look like to sell X more units? What system is just not going to work anymore and not serve us? And how do we start changing it proactively? Okay. Another thing is investing in tech, automation, AI. What could you be putting in place now to really streamline operations, to really improve efficiencies, right? Think about, retention systems. Think about onboarding systems, right? Things that are going to make you money, right? Where are customers going to be impacted? Go there, right? As much as we love growth, customers don't usually love growth. They're nervous we're going to get too big. I actually had somebody say to me, "Oh my goodness, this person's amazing. I love them so much. I am having the best luck with them." I was like, "Well, give me their contact info." And they were like, "No, no, no. I don't think he can handle scale." I was like, "What? You just told me they're amazing. They're blowing up your business. I want to hire them." He's like, "No, no, no. He can't handle scale. He's a little unorganized. And if I give you his info, I think it's going to be bad. I was like, what? Like, you love him and you won't give him to me, right? Customers think that way. They're like, it's like they want you to be their like best kept secret, this like hidden little thing where they don't want you getting too big, right? So you want to make sure that they feel comfortable that you've got it under control and that you haven't been giving them any ideas of why this won't work. Okay. The next piece is continuously monitoring, continuously be thinking about optimization, right? We need to be watching performance metrics. We need to be tracking progress. We need to be looking at the data, finding out where, like, you are a problem solver, right? You are a fire putter outer. But what I see happen is the business owner is running around all over the place, like running to marketing, running to sales, running to ops, running to customer success, running to HR, and they just are reactive. But when I say you're running to whatever needs you, I'm talking about being proactive. I'm talking about looking at the data and proactively saying, my focus for the next 90 days is going to be this. My focus for the next month is going to be this. Not, well, let's just see what needs me and then I'll go in and fix that thing. Okay. Keep your eye on the numbers, keep your eye on progress or lack of progress. Okay. Trust me when I say my numbers aren't always increasing 100% of the time. I have months where I'm like, ooh, that was not good. That was not ideal. Right. Okay. Well, what am I going to do about it? What did I learn? What am I going to fix for next month? I want you thinking that way. Now, I also think the plan, the people, the process, right? I think your mindset is going to have to change as well. I think there are some things that you really have to identify and understand. So you don't get to be the person you've been. If you've been stuck at a certain level, you may be stuck doing similar things you've been doing, right? I actually just heard somebody say this about weight loss. They were like, I eat the same foods over and over and over. They said something like, yeah, if you eat the same foods, if you stay at this, some nutrition people are gonna be like, she's totally wrong. But this is what I heard, and it like clicked for me. And there was like, yeah, if you keep eating the same foods, like, of course you're gonna have the same result. Like, you have to change it up a little bit. Whether that's true or not, I took it to a business thing. I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, of course you don't just get to keep doing the same thing. Like, if I said to you, so it's so silly just saying this out loud, but so 2023, I ate pretty healthy and I worked out about 3 to 4 times a week. Okay. What's my goal for 2024? Well, I want to be in the best shape of my life. That's what I said. And then I'm like looking at, I'm eating the same foods and I'm working out the same amount. And it's like, well, how in the world am I going to outperform if I do the same thing? So maybe it's going to take me being a little like more diligent in like checking my macros, or maybe I'm going to work out 4 to 5 days a week or whatever. I don't know, but I can't think I'm going to get in a better position by doing last year's activities. And I see that all the time. It's like you want to be at 7 or 8 figures, yet you're producing, you're performing, you're behaving the way you've always been doing it. And you don't get to be the same person. I am in the middle of, as I'm recording this, I am doing a time audit. Okay. It's something we teach our clients to do every 90 days to assess, to reflect. And I'm looking at this time audit and I'm truly, for the first time, I am thinking, there's nothing I can delegate. There is nothing that is stupid or silly or tedious. There is nothing that is tactical. Everything I'm doing is strategic. There's literally nothing I can do to change his calendar. And I just sat there and I'm like, but Stacy, if you say that, then we're just going to be the same place next year. Like, you can't be a different business if you don't change your behaviors. And I really just had to realize it's these things are important. It just means I have to hire somebody to outsource some of these things. Like, I can't think we're going to grow, but my calendar look like last year. You don't get to be the same you. And I think most of us, right? We're comfortable. Even you might be comfortable with the uncomfortability. You might like even not love the status you're in, but you know what it feels like versus taking a risk. Taking a leap can feel really scary. So you really have to act as if. You have to say to yourself, like I keep saying to myself, does a $10 million business owner just say, oh, there's nothing else I can outsource, so I guess this is it? No, I just know that's not the answer. So I can't look at my time audit and say, well, I guess I'm just going to stay here. And then no, I'm like, we got to figure out plan B, C, D, E. Like, we got to keep going. This calendar cannot stay the same as the last 90 days. So I am not acting as the person I was. I'm acting as the person I want to be. I'm saying things like, well, would an 8-figure business owner say that? Well, how would she respond? What would she do here? Would she hesitate? Would she procrastinate? Would she hire? Would she outsource? Would she spend that kind of money on marketing? Like, would she spend that kind of money on a media buyer? Like, yeah, right? So these are things I am saying. I'm forcing myself to feel the feelings, feel very uncomfortable, and still act. I want you to know it is going to take work to go to that next milestone. Okay. Are you willing to put in the work? I kind of envision it like to climbing a mountain, right? It's going to be hard going up. Like you're going to need water, you're going to need some food, some snacks, some like little breaks, right? But man, when you get up there, it is beautiful, right? You get to just sit and relax and take in the beauty of what you're seeing. But it is going to take work to get up there, right? And this is it with milestones. Like just keep going. You will love your business so much more at the next milestone than you do today. I have never been like, you know what? 3 million was way better than 5 million. Never, like never, ever, ever, ever had I said, I wish I could go back to that revenue. Ever. Okay. Ever. Trust me, get to that next milestone. Get there. You will enjoy it. You will love it. And when you've taken a moment and you've caught your breath, right? And you feel really good and feel really rested, you can say, what's the next mountain I'm climbing? Right? That's what this is. All right. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Tag me on Instagram at Stacy Tuschl. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure we share this message out. Get it to as many small business owners as possible. All right. I will see you in next week's video.